Hey, what up everybody? I'm Sinnycool, and this is Dark Souls Remastered on PS4. And here we are at the bonfire. It's the Undead Burg bonfire, upper Undead Burg. Right after the dragon jumps on to scare you, and pretty early on in the level. Right above where the merchant is, right below the dragon, the other dragon. Oh, that's where we are, right here on this little bonfire. Naked right now, just because it's faster to be naked. Early in the game, your armor's not going to do very much for you. So, it's risk reward if you're naked. You can dodge a little faster, you can move a little faster, but if you get hit, you're going to get hit hard. So it's up to you if you want to wear armor or not. Later on in the game you get better armor, so you pretty much won't be naked later in the game, but for now, early in the game, I'm gonna be naked for a minute at least. So we got a bow last time. We're using the long sword, the heater shield. We got a short bow with a bunch of cheap arrows. We have some fire bombs, homeward bones. I'm still trying to decide which weapon to use for this playthrough. It's not going to be the longsword. At least I don't think so. I don't know. I've never used it for a whole playthrough. I always seem to use it in the beginning and then switch to something else. But this is a part of the first area that you may see a lot, because if you die you're going to come back here and you're going to have to redo this part over and over and over, so you want to get used to dealing with it with patience. You don't want to try rushing through it, running straight down this bridge into that room with 3 or 4 dudes, with these 2 or 3 guys throwing fire bombs at you. Stop, take a deep breath, and just shoot some arrows at them, even if you miss a few times like I did. You'll hit them eventually, and kill them, and they'll stop throwing fire bombs at you because they'll be dead. And you can get a bow and arrow down at the merchant. If you head backwards a little bit in the level, and you go to the right or left from here, and you just head down a little bit, there's a merchant down there, and he has a bow and arrow you can buy with arrows. Excuse me. So let's get all of these guys taken care of before we proceed. My goal with this playthrough was to do it once a week, and at worst once every 2 weeks, but we're already off of that. I think the first part 1 came out on March 1st. This is March 20th, so I was way off. But we're just shy of 3 weeks, so at least we didn't get to there. I don't know when this has come out, so it may be 3 weeks exactly when it comes out, because I'm recording it. What had happened, I recorded the footage, the play footage, probably almost a week ago now, meaning to put it out, and then just the world's been crazy since. If somebody hears this in the future, it's some crazy pandemic right now, and most people don't want to hear about that while they're watching Dark Souls, so I'm not going to talk about it, but it's kind of messed up my week, just in general, just not even physically, just mentally. So this should have been out like a week ago probably, and I'm just now laying the audio on it late night on the 20th, which is probably the 21st by now. But yeah, take your time. Don't try to rush through this area, because you may have to complete this more than one time. Even if you're doing fine and you're not dying, you might have a bunch of souls. You might want to go back to the merchant and buy some armor, buy bow and arrow, buy a key, buy a box for your fireplace. So you may want to head back to the bonfire, and then you'll have to do this again. So that happens in most playthroughs at least a few times. You're gonna do this area right here a few times, and there's a door right here that's locked. right there. So that's to lower Undead Burg. So you're gonna be you could see this area again from there too. So it's kind of like a little bit of a hub, but not really. Well, yeah, it is kind of a hub because you could go. There's a ladder you can go up. Not this one, but the one with the bonfire room and where we started. There's a ladder that will get a shortcut eventually here. And then there's the way to go at the merchant. And then there's that locked door in that room with like the 3 dudes near the firebomb guys. Pretty good plunging attack there. Put on a helmet and some really light shoes and undies. The hollow soldier waistcloth is a pretty good piece of armor for very early in the game. The reason being is the armor you get from it compared to the weight of it is like one of the best in the game, and it's not going to give you like very much protection, but compared to how much it weighs early in the game, it's decent. If you want to, it doesn't look good or anything, but you still want a fast roll and then add a little bit of armor without compromising your roll. Maybe pop on a helmet, pop on some gloves, pop on the hollow waist cloth, and in one shoe, I guess. We're wearing one shoe. Not sure why you would even put on one shoe, but that's the hollow soldier set or whatever. A little bit of AC for very light weight. There's the hollow soldier shield. That's a really good shield, just FYI. You could use that through the whole game. Just upgrade it. It's a heavy shield, but it does 100% physical reduction. So if you get hit while holding that bad boy up, you're not going to take any damage, unless it's elemental type damage. Right there you saw we got a humanity. That happens every once in a while throughout a level. And it's kind of random. I think there's a formula to it, but it's a really complicated formula. But every once in a while you'll get a humanity just for a random kill throughout a level. And it happens once or twice depending on how you're doing or something. I don't know. It's either like so many kills or how you're doing, you know. It's kind of dynamic to when they give you those. But there is our first crystal lizard. He's under the barrel here that you saw me break. And he gives you some pretty good upgrade materials, twinkling titanite. And through here is the first boss. Or actually the second boss if you count the demon we fought in the first video, first part. So yeah, second boss. Go ahead and don't rush to the boss. You want to climb this ladder and take care of 2 annoying undead up here. You can pretty much just spam R1 on them because they have their bows out and they'll shoot at you while you're trying to get, you have iframes getting off the ladder. And you can just step over and slice them up real quick, and hopefully you don't get hit like me. That was unlucky. And then slide back down the ladder. Alright, so here comes the second boss. Once you get to like the halfway point of the bridge, he's gonna jump off of this. So I'm doing a little backstep action here. I thought I was smooth, but as you will see shortly, I am not smooth. And I appreciate anyone watching. I know these aren't the videos that get the most views on my channel. It's just something I enjoy. And if for some reason you enjoy Dark Souls and Gems of War, we are best friends. Because I don't know very many people that play those 2 specific games, like From Software and Gems of War, like I do. But that's been my whole life. I like a weird set of things, you know. And there's not very many people that like exactly the same things as me. You might like Gems of War, and I might like it also, but, you know, do you also like Dark Souls? Probably not. Here we died on a really easy boss, so that's our first death. Gonna take the cup half full approach and say that now the pressure's off. I have my first death. I don't have to worry about doing a no-death run or anything like that. Doesn't matter now. I can die over and over and over, and who cares? That's our first death. Got it out of the way. All the pressure's off now. Who cares, you know? I wish, I was kind of hoping I would make it to a little bit further into the game before I died, but that's why I love this game. It's not easy. And if you get cocky and think you can just dodge around the second boss without any practice, and then that happens. So, but it's a good lesson. Don't rush. Don't try to rush back to your stand, because I just lost a bunch of souls there. I don't know how many. I can't remember how many I had. Could have been like 50, up to 50,000 souls there. But I think we leveled up right before that, so never mind. Yeah, at the very beginning of this video, we leveled up. So we didn't lose very many souls, just whatever we had gotten from this point to the second boss. So we'll see how many it is. It's not terrible. Maybe like 5,000 or something. But yeah, you gotta take it slow, because that can happen. Like, I'm usually pretty good about not doing that, not rushing after a death. But I was kind of irritated where I died on just the second boss, because I've done no death runs on this game. I've done SL1 New Game Plus runs on this game, and for me to die on the second boss was kind of a punch in the gut. So I gotta get back to taking it slow and easy, and let's take these guys out with the bow and arrow again. But hey, we made a little bit of progress. We got the crystal lizard killed. Got those upgrade materials. We changed our equipment around a little bit. Got a few items we didn't have. Got to the boss, you know, realized that we're not just gonna steamroll over it. And I'm gonna shoot this freaking wall 50,000 times. Oh, there we go again. Let's just shoot the wall. First try, baby. First try. You can even shoot this guy with your bow and arrow. And this other guy will come too, so it's a good thing to do. Missed the parry, but I've never been much of a parry guy anyway. Like, I can do it, and I think it's satisfying, but I'm not like a expert at parry. I've only beat Gwen like once with parry. I usually do it with like pyromancy, because that's like the other easy way to beat them. The first easy way to beat them is with parries, and you have to kind of like practice and get it down. But the other way is pyromancy. Is pretty easy to beat him with pyromancy. You put on like iron flesh, and then you just use your strongest pyromancy, and usually you can take him out before he can take you out. If I remember correctly. It's been a while since I played this game. I don't even know how long. If I tried to think about it, let's see. I haven't played it at all since I moved here. I've been living here for 2 or 3 years. And then before that, it was probably at least a year. So wow, yeah, it's been like 4 years since I played this game. But I have been playing Dark Souls 2, 3, and Bloodborne since, so it's not like I'm totally out of practice. But we're almost back to where we were. That's always a good feeling when you die, getting back to where you were. Did we also take out the Black Knight last time? I think we did. Man, we did really good in that first video. I don't know what happened here. Already got 2 deaths in this one, only 14 minutes in. Whatever. But yeah, we just need to get back to this boss. And yeah, I was really trying to do Dark Souls Remastered once a week. I'm gonna try to do that, because you never know when your last video could be, and you know who's gonna hear it when you're gone or whatever. It's kind of morbid to say, but I want to put out more and more videos while I can, and just leave leave a bunch of playthroughs on YouTube, you know? Even if only 100 people watch this one, at least people saw it, heard me, and watched me play, and got some enjoyment out of it, and maybe passed the time, or took their mind off something else. And I got to make them. And it's kind of a selfish thing. You know, I just want to document my favorite games and stuff here. So not everything I do on the channel is purely for views. Like, obviously, these only get like 100 compared to other videos getting like 1,000 sometimes. So if I was smart, I probably wouldn't even do these, but I like it, and it's for me, and it's a documentation of my favorite games. So gonna keep doing it. Gonna keep doing Bloodborne, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, and eventually Sekiro. Probably, I don't know about next, but this one's gonna go on for at least a couple months. So if we're gonna talk about next, it's not gonna be for months. So I'm not even really thinking about it yet, but hopefully Sekiro would be next. If not, maybe Old Hunters for Bloodborne. I don't know. Hoping Sekiro. And then, like, if we run out of things to do. But look at this. I was trying to do it even the cheesy way here, which is like running back up the ladder over and over, but I could not get his timing down for whatever reason. I think I'm used to being like further on in the game where I can actually dodge with like the dark wood grain ring and the flippy ninja ring. Don't know why. Don't know why that happened, but that's the third death in this video, so as you can see, not going well, and I don't think that's the end of it. I can't remember, because like I said, I recorded this like a week ago, but so far, 3 deaths, and hopefully I pull myself together here, because we have really not made that much progress yet. If you think about it, what have we done so far in this video? We kind of put on equipment, took equipment off, and got a crystal lizard, and fought the boss a couple times, and that's about it so far. Leveled up a little bit at the very beginning, put on a ring, but yeah, last video was pretty productive though, and we're almost there, I promise. I used to enjoy watching people struggle with this game. Like, I've said this many times, so if you heard it before, I'm sorry, but some people apologize while they're playing like a Dark Souls type game and they're dying over and over and over. And whenever I was watching them do this and they were apologizing, I'm thinking like, why are you apologizing, man? Like, it's like if you weren't dying over and over and over, that would just like make me think the game wasn't that hard. And the reason I like it is because it's at least a little bit because it's difficult. So if you're dying over and over, that just confirms that it's not easy, and therefore that's a good thing, like, to me as a viewer. So I don't get why people apologize for dying in these games as a creator or whatever, as like a let's play. I mean, I understand they don't want to make it boring, so that, you know, they don't want to do the same part over and over and over and over, and it gets boring. But some people think it's funny when you die. Some people, like me, think it's just like a justification that the game is, you know, a little bit is not easy. And that's part of the reason they like it, is because it's not easy. Because anybody can play a Lego game and beat a Lego game. That's what I used to compare it to. Like, a lot of games 10 years ago or 5 years ago when this was made were like Lego games, man. You just would die and come right back right where you died, and there was no penalty for dying. That's never been my favorite type of game, man. I've always liked games where if you die, there is a penalty. Something happens. If you die, you gotta go get your body, and if you can't get to it, you lose everything you have. If you die, you lose experience. If you die, you lose humanity. If you die, you lose a level. Like, those are the things I like. If you die, you have to do the whole level over again from the beginning. If you die, you're game over. You gotta do the whole game over again. That's like what I'm from. That's what I like, and that's how it was for me. And then, like, there was this period, like, right around when Dark Souls came out, maybe, you know, where there was all these, like, Lego games and all these other games that were coming out that you would die on this boss, and then the spot where they would start you back with unlimited lives, like you do it, try over and over and over and over, with no consequence, would be like right outside that fall gate, and you get to try the boss again for no penalty. Like, you could just beat your head against it until you won, with no penalty for dying. I start to get the dodge down a little bit in this one, but I'm more going for a hit and run approach, trying to make sure I keep out of his range, because he's got some range. Using the gold pine resin that we got earlier, and man, I just got nailed. Probably gonna die right here. Didn't die, actually dodged appropriately there for once. Getting it down. He did kill us twice. Is this the third time? Are we gonna die 3 times to this guy? I hope not, because 2 is embarrassing already. Just gotta think about how far he's gonna how far that hitbox is gonna be. Run in, get a hit off. And there's other ways to kill him. You can do the plunging attack. You can knock him off the side. It's not easy to knock him off the side, and it's not really even, I don't think, intended. I mean, it probably is, but it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's only like, it happens, and they don't care that it happens, but they don't mean for you to do it that way type stuff. Because you can also knock him off the edge if you can, like, get around to where his back is to the hole. There's like a piece of the bridge where you can fall off. And if you can get him backed up to that and he hops backwards, he'll fall off. And it doesn't happen very often. And sometimes you'll do this plunging attack and you'll hop off his head and you'll fall over the side of the bridge and die. I've had that happen before, where I was winning, like right then, and I hopped over the side of the bridge and died. And he died at the same time. Luckily, he stayed dead, and I had to come back here and get my soul stain. But he was dead still. It still counted, but I had to make the run back, you know. So that was like crazy. Killed him, victory achieved, but as I was falling over the side of the bridge. And that fight's when you're doing a no death run. That fight's pretty scary. It's not scary really any other time, except for when you're really rusty, like in this one. In this particular instance here, where I died to him twice. Or you're doing like a no death run or SL1 run, and you're like kind of nervous, because especially with the no death run, if he knocks you off the edge, or you just happen to get hit a couple times in a row, miss a dodge or something. But I'm gonna shut up.
Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Wind, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, it should. No need to hide the reaction. I get that all the time. Oh, aha. So I didn't scare you. I have a proposition. You have a moment.
Sorry if the mic's moving around, my bad.
That really is me a chance. So what do you say? Why not help one another on this lonely journey? It pleases you greatly. Well then, take this.
White Sign Soapstone. I might have to read really fast here in a second.
With heroes centuries old paging in and out. The very fabric wavers, and relations shift and obscure. There's no telling how much longer your world and mine will remain in contact. But you see, to summon one another as spirits, cross the gaps between the worlds, and engage in jolly cooperation. Of course, we are not the only ones engaged in this. but I am a warrior of the sun. Spot my summon signature easily by its brilliant aura. If you miss it, you must be blind.
Is that all you got, buddy?
Oh, hello there. I will stay behind to gaze at the sun. The sun is a wondrous body, like a magnificent father. If only I could be so grossly incandescent. Oh, hello there. If only...
Alright, yeah, he's done now. We've exhausted all of his dialogue. That's Solaire. Online play item, leave a summon sign. Be summoned to another world as a phantom through your sign and defeat the area boss to acquire humanity. Hollows cannot conduct summons. In Lordran, the flow of time is distorted, and the white sign soapstone allows undead to assist one another. So he gives you that so you can cooperate with him, do some co-op with him. He'll help you out with a couple bosses. I think it's 3 or 4 bosses. If you're human, and if you follow the storyline, kinda. It's not easy to stay on track for it. But here we go. Everybody knows this part. Dragon burns up the bridge. I got lucky there and didn't get hit at all. So I guess that's a good way to do it. If you strip down, you'll be faster. And if you jump towards the stairs, you should be fine. If you get hit once, you should survive it. It's just if you get hit twice or get stun locked. But right here, this is super important. Kick the ladder down. Now we have a shortcut. We'll never have to go through that gauntlet that we went through 2 or 3 times earlier. Right here, we don't have to do that anymore. We can just climb the ladder. Unless we want to for whatever reason. I don't know why we would. There's nothing between this bonfire and like where we fought the TAURUS demon. Well, there is actually what's his face down in the tower. Do some more leveling. Endurance and vitality is what you want to do at the very beginning of the game, especially if it's your first playthrough. Vitality will give you more hit points, and endurance will give you more stamina. So our red bar and our green bar. That's what I recommend to people that it's your first time playing, or you haven't played in a while, or you don't know what you want to do right now and you just want to level up a little bit. That's super safe. You can do that with your first few levels with it won't hurt you later on. You really can't have too much stamina unless you go super heavy on it, and you could use like vitality is just your hit points, so that's always helpful. Right here I'm showing you a way to farm souls early in the game. So you can level up by doing this. So this is what you do. You climb the ladder. You get naked pretty much so you're fast. Climb the ladder. I'm getting completely naked here. No weapon, no nothing. Butt naked with my thong on, and we're just running up here. We do a little roll onto the bridge, we roll back off, then we run back to the bonfire. What that's doing is it's making the dragon cast his flame, and he kills all the hollows on the bridge, and you get like 550 something souls. And this is, it's good for, you know, you're getting like 555 each time you do this. So, it's up to you how long you would want to do this. It's not like a really fast way to farm souls. But, I think it's good for around 5 levels right now. Like, as soon as you kick that ladder down, you could do this, get yourself 5 levels easy, quickly, in a short amount of time, and then just head on. You don't want to like do this forever. It's not something you would farm for hours. It's something you would do a few times and move on. Like, it's easy, fast souls for like 30 minutes, not for hours. and you'll get better at it and faster at it, and it'll feel like it's actually doing something because you're gonna get so fast at it. At first you're like, oh wow, 555, that's not that much, but the faster you get, and the better you get at like rolling off the stairs and just popping on this bridge and turning around and not getting hit by the fire, and just doing it perfectly and quickly. It's worth it, I think, early in the game. You can get to where you can roll off that and just hit the bonfire right as you land. You can get that good at it. And there's a ring, a silver ring that gives you more souls per kill, and I can't remember where you get it. I'm really trying to think. I think it's in Sin's Fortress, so that's a little bit too far to come back and do this. But if you're on like New Game Plus or whatever and you already have it or whatever, that's a good thing to do. You can put on your ring, do this for 30 minutes, and it's worth even more with the ring on. But I think it's too far to do it on your on like a new game, because I think it's in Sin's Fortress. I can't remember. I know there is one in there. I don't know which one. But yeah, I'm gonna do this a few times. Probably not even 30 minutes. But just to show the process here and how much you can get and how many levels it gives you and everything. But yeah, just climb the ladder, get completely naked, sprint up the stairs. You'll get better and better at it. Sprint up these stairs. All you do is pop on this bridge, turn around, run down the stairs. You don't even have to like wait, just go right back to the bonfire. And you can get good at jumping right off and landing and hitting the bonfire, canceling out of it, getting back up, running to the ladder. So you're gonna end up getting really good at that. So we were able to get 3 levels. We had just leveled up before this. That wasn't that long. I don't know how many minutes that was that we just farmed, but it wasn't 30 minutes, and we got 3 levels, and we had just leveled up a few times before that. Remember the vitality endurance I was telling you to get? So that was just very quick, 5 minutes, whatever, and we got 3 levels. So it's worth your time to stop, take your get naked, and do that just for whatever, however long you feel like it. Just don't do it for hours and hours, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it after like, I mean, you could probably do it for like 1 hour, get yourself like 10 levels or whatever, maybe 15 levels. Probably not 15, probably 10 levels, and it might be worth it to you. But after that, you're gonna see diminishing returns. 500 levels aren't crap after you level up 10 times. You're gonna need like 5,000 per level at that point or whatever, instead of like a couple thousand. So it's gonna take way longer to get it. You can just kick this guy off the edge if you're good. Boom, see ya. Alright, and here's another little trick as well. So there's a couple tricks right here with this in this dragon area. You can soul farm a little bit, mini soul farming, and then right here you can get the Drake sword. You just gotta shoot his tail. So aim at it, shoot it, and you can hit it again when he comes over to you. I didn't get it that time. And you can also shoot his face there if you want, but I usually wait for his tail to come back. You can shoot. Nailed it. So that makes him come to you. Now you could shoot this part. I got it, I think, that time. Yep. And if you're really, really good, you can hit him like 3. I think 3 is the max, but maybe 4. If you're really good, you can hit him 3 times. And I've done it before. I've hit him 3 times per cycle. But 2 times the cycle is about what most people would do. And it's kind of frustrating when you can't hit him right here because it's wagging his tail. But you'll get it eventually. And then he'll come over and you'll move a little bit and get him again. And if you're really good, you'll get him 3 times. I think I only got him twice this whole time, but I was just making sure, because you can get him right then, like right when he lands. As soon as that tail even exists again, you can hit him with an arrow, and then you can shoot another one. If you shoot it right away when he comes to you, and you hit him, like you're shooting it before it even pops up, then you can hit him again before he flies back over far away. So that's how you can get him 3 times. If you wanted to get him 3 times, you would be shooting right now, and you would hit him. Eventually I do. Then you would be shooting like right now, hitting his tail, and then reloading, hit him again. Right like that. You can do it. It's really tight, but it's possible. I've done it. Like, I'm not just saying it's possible and I haven't done it. I'm saying it's possible, I did it, and it wasn't that bad once you get used to it. See, I almost got it there, but I was a little bit late, like half a second off. Cause yeah, it's possible to get them 3 times, which would make this go a little bit quicker. But I think it's worth it. It doesn't take. It takes a while, like, but not as long as you think. Like, we're almost done. We only gotta hit them probably 10 more times max, which would be like 5 cycles. And eventually, you can look at the background of just the scenery, and eventually you'll know exactly where to shoot. Like right there, we were looking at the tower there, and the green foliage on the side of the tower. If you line it up perfectly, line it up. I had it a little bit to the right there, it looks like, but I still got it. So right where the there's like a little dip in the green moss on the side of that tower. If you hit it right in that spot, and as soon as it appears, you shoot, you'll get them on that second one. And right here, it's like on the edge of the moss. You shoot it right as soon as you see them, you can get them too. But there we go. It wasn't 5 more, it was like 2 more. Drake Sword. Really, really powerful OP weapon for this point in the game that falls off as you go. It's kind of a cheesy, noob, OP weapon. But it does have a cool... This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, is formed by a drake's tail. Drakes are seen as undeveloped imitators of the dragons, but in they are likely their distant kin. The sword is imbued with a mystical power to be released when held with both hands. So yeah, when you do the R2 with both hands, it shoots out like a force. It shoots out like a elemental force. Some sort of wind, and it does good damage. And at this point of the game, if you're still using it in Sin's Fortress, then it falls off. But you can use it for Undead Burg, upper and lower. You can use it for like Capra Demon. There it is, the R2 special move. The only bad thing about the R2 special move is that it takes durability off of it. And if you do it too many times, you're going to break the weapon. And then you'll have to repair it. And if it's broken, you can't use it to the best of its ability. But look at that damage, 172. We were doing like 30 and 40 or something earlier. Now we're doing 172. Or we were doing like 50 at the most, I can't remember. Whatever it was, we're doing way more now. We're doing at least, I don't know how much more, but we're gonna one-shot stuff we were, that was taking 2 or 3 hits before. So we're doing like at least twice the amount of damage, I would say. Undead Parish. So that's the other side of the bridge with the dragon on it. We got the Drake Sword. We killed the Taurus demon. So good progress now after a shaky start. So I'm definitely not using the Drake Sword the whole game. I'm still in the preliminary part where I don't know which weapon I'm gonna use, so I'm just using whatever pops up until I find the weapon I'm gonna use. I keep thinking about using the scythe. Like, I don't know which scythe. The great scythe. One of the scythes, because I don't think I've ever used one. I mean, I probably have, but you know what I mean. I've never dedicated a whole playthrough to it. That or like a katana. And I know katana's probably boring because a lot of try-hard sweats use the katana. Like in PvP and Let's Plays and everything. But I've never used it. And the reason I never used it is because I always saw everybody else using it. So I never want to do what everybody else is doing. So I've never used the katana just because everybody else always used it, or always talked about it, or always said it was good for PvP, or, oh, you know, on the message boards they're always talking about the katana or the chaos whatever blade. That's a katana. Here, I tried jumping right into the fire. I hope I don't die. Can't remember. Oh, I did die. What an idiot. Luckily, hey, we got the Drake Sword. We got the shortcut. We killed the boss. So we're good now. If we die there, no big deal. We're going to be right there. We're right there. No enemies in between us and our souls, except for the dragon. So that wasn't a big death. That death wasn't a big deal, but still, it's like our third death. Or actually, the Taurus demon got us twice, and we got on the way back to the Taurus demon, and we just got there. So that's like our fourth death actually on just this video, and I didn't die at all in the first one. So that's what's frustrating, and maybe that's why I haven't put it out yet. I don't know, but I don't really care. You know how it is. You know, if I die, I show it. I don't care. We died a lot in Bloodborne. We died in Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3. We died in speed runs, and what I'm doing here is trying to shoot them to get them to come towards us. That way I don't get burned up, and I can just run by them. So that's what happened there. That's good. We just need to get in here, and we're safe. And there we go. Eventually this will become a covenant area for like Solaire's covenant. I'm trying to shoot them. I thought it'd be cool if I could get a hit on them. Like shoot way ahead of them, lead them, and see if the arrow would make it. But I just wanted to see, even if it didn't do damage, maybe it would register and we could see. That'd be cool to hit them twice, because I've never tried that before. I don't think. It's pretty much just a cinematic of him flying away, so I don't think there's any hitbox or anything, but I just thought that was funny to try. These guys are just like the guys at the beginning of the game. They're totally docile, and you can just kill them for a little bit of souls. But yeah, this becomes a covenant area later. I think I was talking about Solaire's questline earlier, and then we ran into the dragon, so back to that. He will help you in certain battles if you're in human form, and if you talk to him at the right time, and if you're following the quest line, and if you don't accidentally do some other things. Like, it's hard to make these quest lines like complete and hit every single step in them and get every co-op opportunity and get them to go all the way to their end and get every dialogue. Some of those are hard in this game to do, like Solaire, for example. I think he can join you for the gargoyle fight, which is the next boss fight. He can also be right here in this covenant area, which I almost never get that encounter. He'll be out there where those docile undead are, in this area right here, and you can talk to him right there. And I've only gotten that like once or twice, and I don't know. I think you have to come back here after you fight with him after you fight the gargoyles with him. Most people don't do that. They don't come back here after that. They go, forward in the game. And then you'll end up skipping that and meeting them later on, like fighting the that dragon down in the whatchamacallit? The big purple dragon that I forget his name. But that's another spot you can use Solaire. And then you also, like, I think you have to keep him alive in the battle as well. Like, he can't die. So there's many factors, and just to keep the quest line going. It's like if you get to the gargoyles and you aren't in human form, then you won't see his co-op sign. Then you'll miss that, and then you won't get this one, and then you won't be able to summon him at the next one, and then your whole quest line's done. Dead in the water just because you weren't human at the right time. That's how crazy these quest lines are and these dialogues are. Somebody figured them all out, though, you know? But say you are in human form, you get the co-op, you summon him, you go to fight the gargoyles, but he dies in that fight. Then that might be done. You might be done with it. He might not show up at the next place just because he died in the fight. It's crazy. You might get him in the fight, summon him, you might win, he might survive, but he almost died. And then, for some reason, the quest line doesn't continue because he almost died. Like, that's how crazy it is. You have to, like, protect his ass and make sure he does damage and make sure he doesn't almost die. And, like, I don't think it's that specific and tight, but it's dang close. There's certain situations where if you don't let them do some damage, then the quest line does not continue. And I think I'm talking about Siegmeyer, but it could be the same with Solaire in some situations. I'm not sure. So if you want to keep the quest line going, look for him everywhere, try to summon him everywhere, and make sure he participates and doesn't die. If you want to get every single dialogue and see him at the end of the game. I'm trying to sneak up on this second Black Knight in the game, but they got good hearing. It's hard to get that last little step before you get the backstab. But I did get a hit off on him. Nice 100 plus. So we got a good start. These guys are tough. They can kill you. Definitely can kill you. They can smash you in 2 hits probably at this point of the game. Luckily, he's pretty big and slow, and we're not wearing any armor, so we got the backstab there, right in his booty. Right between his Junie cakes. He's almost dead now because we got our big cheesy noob weapon. Which is the other thing I was talking about, the Drake sword. So, that's how you get it. You shoot the Drake's tail, the Hellfire Drake, and you gotta hit it. You gotta be patient because it takes like 20 to 30 shots or something like that. And ooh, we got the Black Knight Greatsword there. Maybe we could use that. Black Knight Greatsword. I don't know if I ever used that, but I used a Greatsword. Greatsword of the Black Knights who wander Lordran, used to face chaos demons. The large emotion that puts the weight of the body into the attack reflects the great size of their adversaries long ago, which was the chaos demons. And that's why it's a burnt black sword, because it's fire and it got burnt and blah blah. Not blah blah, I love the lore, but you know what I mean. So we could use that, but the only problem with that is that I used a great sword in Dark Souls 2, which to some of you probably has nothing to do with this, but it does to me, because I already used a great sword in a playthrough, and I don't really want to do it again, even though it's a really cool great sword. Dang, that guy snuck up on me. So here's a mini boss, just like the Hellfire Drake. Or a Black Knight. They're kind of along the same. This guy's kind of along the same lines as a Black Knight, or you know, the Hellfire Drake. It's a Warthog here, or whatever you want to call him. Armored Boar. He can kill you, so you better watch out. What you can do though is either you can sneak around or run quickly to the right and up the stairs above him, and you won't disturb him. But somehow I disturbed him while I don't know how. And I don't know why I didn't get a backstab there, but you'll see a few of these throughout the game. But yeah, the big cheesy noob sword here. The reason that you can't use it throughout the whole game, or else you're gonna. The reason that it's a noob weapon for first thing is that it's not scalable. So if you try to use it deep into the game, it's gonna fall off like very quickly. It's awesome and OP right now, and it falls off quickly. Like by Sin's Fortress, it's just like anything else that you could could have been using and leveling up and getting better with, but you can't put fire on it or lightning or anything because it's got a special move. It's a dragon sword, and it's already elemental on its own, so you can't like add anything to it. You can't do stats with it. It doesn't scale with any stat. So it is what it is right now, except for you can level it up a little bit with dragon scales. But that only helps like slightly. That'll let you like get into, you know, that'll let you like drag it a little further into the game if you really wanted to, but it's not easy to get enough dragon scales to get it to +5. But if you somehow like really wanted to use this weapon the whole game, that's what you would have to do. Here we used something called an alluring skull. We threw it in the fire, and that attracts enemies, and it just burned itself up in the fire. Made us some bacon. That was a really easy kill. You can either do that, or you can do a plunging attack. You can like throw an alluring skull down there to make it come closer, and then you can jump off and do a plunging attack. Drake Sword, 200 physical. But that's cool. We killed the armored boar, whatever you want to call him. The second Black Knight. We got rid of the Hellfire Drake. Got the Drake Sword. Killed the second boss. We got a Crystal Lizard. Got some good upgrade materials from that and a Black Knight. And we got the Black Knight Sword. So we're doing good. I mean, we had a really rocky start, but put on the Hollow Soldier Shield. It's got 100% physical, and you could still parry with it if you want. It's just the timing's a little odd. It's a little slow. The Heater Shield's a little better if you're wanting to parry, which some people have a fascination with parry. One of my buddies has a real fascination with, like, he's always like parry, like if he's watching me play. But I don't know. Sometimes it's boring to like parry every single time, even though I'm not the best at it, so I can't say that I would even be able to do that. But to me, if I do a parry like 6 times in a row, it starts to get boring, even though it does look cool. It's kind of like doing a visceral attack every single time in Bloodborne. It kind of gets a little bit boring after, you know, 6, 7, 8 times in a row in short succession, you know? Hollow Soldier Shield. Or it's the stability or something makes this thing awesome. Metal shield wielded by hollow soldiers, heavily rusted but sturdy, providing a strong defense. It's got 66 physical attack. It's got 100% physical reduction, and the stability is better than other shields with, you know, like the Heater Shield also has 100%, but it only has 50, looks like 55 or something stability, while this thing has 56, and like every point matters. Stability is like an enemy is hitting your shield and you're blocking, and it's how long it takes for you to get staggered. I'm pretty sure. So maybe the Heater Shield, it takes 3 strikes and then you get staggered, and then you can't guard anymore. You can't put your shield up. But with the Hollow Soldier Shield, maybe it takes 4, so it gives you that extra attack before you get staggered. But yeah, that's what stability means. It's like the more hits you can take while you're blocking before you get staggered. And if you level this shield up, it gets even more stability. And it's one of the best shields in the game, if I remember correctly. The other one would be, I think, the Black Knight shield or the Silver Knight shield. But really, this thing is one of the best. It's definitely top 3. Of course, there's the shield that gives stamina. That's probably one of the best ones in the game also. I always end up using that one. We can get that one pretty soon, actually. As you know, we're getting close to the next area and the blacksmith and everything. And you can go get the blossom shield or whatever it's called that gives stamina pretty soon thereafter. Wow, we actually got it. You just gotta get to a certain distance from them. Gotta socially distance yourself. Social distancing, and then you backstab them, motherfuckers. Knight shield. The medium metal shield is elegantly carved and painted. Although it is thought to have been used by ancient knights and nobility, its defense capabilities are similar to other shields. I used to use that shield when I was like a complete noob. I used to use that shield. It's not bad, but it's not the best. It's like above average. Maybe a little bit better than above average. Like, you know, 7, 6, 7. It's pretty cool looking though. Like, it's different colors and everything. And not a lot of shields are like that in this game. Most of them are like plain silver or black. Got another humanity you saw there. So now we got 2. Just from a random kill. It's like a certain amount of kills or a certain enemy. Let's get him. He's trying to heal. Might as well spam him, kill him, flail at him, knock him down. Those are Boulder Knights. They're pretty tough. For new players especially, because they jump around a lot and they can parry and riposte you. So they can kill you in like a one-hitter quitter if they get a parry on you. So you gotta watch out. Don't let them parry you. This guy's shooting arrows in my butt while the other guys were trying to fight me. And let's go this way. This is where the blacksmith is. And that's it for part 2, guys. Like, share, subscribe. I'll try to do the next one sooner. If everything goes perfectly, I will be putting out I'll be putting out part 3 1 week from now. If not sooner, if everything goes perfectly. So, if you're hearing this right now, you're the best. You're awesome. And like, share, subscribe. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.